So most people are familiar with the amazing mimicry abilities of parrots in captivity, but what about the abilities of parrots to communicate in the wild? So I want to talk about the duetting abilities of yellow-naped Amazons. I'm coming out with new research on their warble duets, which are essentially their fancy duets, which they use to defend their territories during the breeding season. So I've been focusing on their duets for several decades now, and myself and Dr. Timothy Wright have long studied their standard duets, which they give throughout their breeding season. And if you're wondering what a duet is, essentially it's when a mated pair synchronize their vocalizations in order to defend their territories. So just like when we sing a duet, it's when two individuals sing together. Well, yellow-naped Amazons will call together in a very coordinated fashion. So what we've discovered over time is that they don't give their duet notes in a random fashion. In fact, they use a lot of syntactic rules to structure their duets, much like the way that humans structure our language. So let's give a listen. This is an example of one of the many duets our mated pairs give in Costa Rica. So if I break this duet down for you, what you're going to see is that it consists of several pairs of notes that start with a female note, then a male, female, male, female, male. So I'm just going to highlight these note pairs for you. This would be a female note here, then a male note, female, male. And in fact, they occur in such close synchrony that it can sometimes be really hard to even tell where one note stops and the other note begins. So again, female, male, etc. We have also found that there's distinct categorical types of notes. So with a trained eye, we can start to break them into distinct note types. And in fact, we found a lexicon, which is basically an alphabet or maybe a dictionary of different types of calls of over 30 distinct call types. So if you're interested in what these are, we refer to this one as a flirt. This one is a nert. This is a mirror a mirror F. And this is a mirror M. This is a Z. And this is a Q. We've also found that the birds give specific types of notes, or more likely give certain types of notes along with other types. So in other words, the note types will collocate with one another. And this is also something we see in human language. There's some types of words that are more likely to co-occur with other types of words within bodies of writing. So for example, mirror Fs and mirror Ms usually occur close to one another in these paired groupings. So we're very interested to find that these duets are non-random, that they have a lot of rules that the birds follow when they give the duets. However, even within all of those rules, there's a lot of flexibility. So these duets are very cognitive. The birds have to decide whether or not to give a duet, what type of duet to give, and then what order of notes to give within the duet. And they all make these decisions very, very rapidly. So when you're listening to the birds, I hope that you're thinking about all of this and going, wow, there's really much more going on within the birds' brains than you might have thought.